Hi guys, hope you're all doing well. I'm looking at a chart of Exxon Mobile, and this is a weekly chart, and I've been watching it for a while waiting for this pullback to turn around, and we can see here this weekly bar in my view is fairly bullish because this single bar has taken out the last few weeks of trading. And let me just show you why I'm looking at this. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I like to look at stocks when they have a significant pullback. So if I measure the last pivot, here is the low to the high, and now we can also see there's a high to low move, and this is what I refer to as a pullback. It's also known as a correction or a retracement. So it's just a fairly significant retracement in my view. Again, looking at a weekly chart, and the reason that I am looking at it now more closely is because this weekly bar that closed on Friday, the exact date is Friday the 17th of April, has taken out the previous previous 6 or 7 weeks of trading. So that's a fairly bullish indication. Of course, we could be wrong in our opinion, but in my view, that is a fairly bullish case. Now, let me just jump over to a daily chart. This is a daily activity. We can also see that we're getting higher lows and higher highs. You can see there's not a very steep upward trend, but a trend to the upside is certainly visible. And we can also see a very minor pullback here as well. If I take this pivot, this is a high to low, and then a high to low here. Sorry, a low to high, and then a high to low. So this particular pullback is not as significant, but it is a pullback all the same, and I would expect that the stock now move forward. Now my target on this would only be back up to around this next level of resistance. Let me get rid of some of these lines so I can draw in where I feel the target might come in at. And again, of course, we could be wrong. It's just a prognosis, and we need to manage our risk in case we are wrong. So my first initial target when I look at this sort of a pattern would be back up to previous resistance. Now, that would be around this level, or it could even pass that and then move up to around these levels. I mean, that's a much stronger level of resistance. So we should be able to put together a trade that allows us to profit with a move up to around this $90 level. Now, what I've done is I've looked at some very short-term options because I feel this move up will be a fairly short-term. It should be very quick, and we should see some movement up in the next 3, 4, 5, or 6 bars on a daily chart. So I'm only looking for options that expire within the next 2 weeks. Of course, I don't want to see this trend line broken. So in my view, we're wrong if the stock trades back below this trend line. So I would look at this and put an alert on if the stock is trading at around below 85, let's say, so anywhere at around 84.90, then I would say we're wrong on our analysis and we would need to exit the trade. So here's the options that I've chosen for this particular setup. I'm going with I'm using weekly options, so these options expire only in 14 days. So using short-term options, in my view, this trade is a high-risk trade, and we're able to buy this option, the 85.50 call, for only $218 per contract, and in this case I'm buying 5 contracts for a total risk of $1,090. Let me scroll down here for a minute, and you can see here that this particular position doubles in value with only a small 3.5% move in the underlying stock. In this case, we're looking at, I've forgotten what we're looking at. We're looking at Exxon Mobile. And you can see that the stock only needs to go around that $90 level for us to make a 100% return on investment. So that's what I'm looking for, folks. I'm expecting this to bounced upwards from these levels, I feel that this is a support level, and the way that I've identified that is by looking at a lower time chart, an intraday 30-minute chart, where I've seen that this is a support level. Now, of course, as I said before, it may not hold. We could break down, and if we do break down below this trend line, that for me is a alert to close the trade for a potential loss. So happy trading, folks. Reminder that these videos are for education only. You always need to know your risk and manage your risk accordingly. Happy trading.